Welcome to Monday Night Meat and Potatoes, the podcast where three guys with big opinions and even bigger appetites go head-to-head on all things food, movies, sports, and whatever else gets us fired up. We blind taste test the best and worst colas, barbecue sauces, peanut butters, and those weird pickle-flavored snacks you see at the store but never dare to try. We rank them, we review them, and sometimes even surprise ourselves. Because trust us, we did not expect KC Masterpiece to take the crown. It's not just food. We're talking movies, sports, personal stories, and whatever madness is going on in the world. One thing's for damn sure. We're loud, we're funny, and we're not afraid to tell it like it is. Monday Night Meat and Potatoes. Now, here are your hosts, James, Fridge, and Tommy.
You like how I did that? That's because Fridge ain't here again.
Stupid Fridge.
I'm not mad at him, let him go do his thing, but, I think he owes us an intro. He has to pay for an intro while he's gone that doesn't include his name.
Yeah, kind of hoed us out.
All right, anyway, we got my father, Jeff. He's back for another week because, we were scraping the bottom of the barrel trying to find someone.
Thank you very much.
Hey, no problem. You didn't birth me, but you were part of my birthing process.
He birthed you.
That'd be a little uncomfortable.
I'd be rich.
Hey, nowadays, it could have been like that movie Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That was the first thing that I thought of when you said that.
That is the stupidest fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, I'm James.
I'm Tommy.
I'm Jeff.
And it's Monday Night Meat and Potatoes. Tommy, today you're going to hit us with a little opener here.
I got a couple openers.
A couple?
Yeah, I
Well,
do.
only one would be the opener, dummy.
I'm retarded. Checking the specs on the inline. I'm retarded.
We're just going to make that. We're going to put that as a sound on the soundboard and just play it every time.
Have that as just like a cut. Okay.
Talking to the mic. There you go.
I thought I was.
You turned your head. I'm going to teach you guys etiquette.
Okay, so I like breakfast food. So
My least favorite meal of the day.
oh, really?
It's not that I dislike it, but when I'm in the mood for breakfast, I really enjoy breakfast.
Okay.
But any typical day, I skip it. I don't eat it. I might eat actual breakfast twice a month.
So you're not one that will do like breakfast for dinner?
So with Shelby's kids, they like to do breakfast for dinner. So that's probably one of the times a month that I do it.
Okay. I was just curious because we'll do that every once in a while. What about you, Jeff?
Occasionally for dinner.
Yeah.
Breakfast, maybe once a week, twice a week. Not
Okay.
often.
And the thing is like, when it comes to breakfast foods, I don't go for your typical like eggs, bacon. Well, I don't like bacon anyway, but egg, sausage, hash browns. I'm typically wanting a breakfast burrito, or especially if they're made well, a good biscuits and gravy, which I'm gonna say I make the best. But
Well, it's great that you mentioned this because my question is, what is your Mount Rushmore of breakfast? If you had to pick 4 items, what is your perfect Mount Rushmore of breakfast?
I'm gonna go with Donald Trump. Joe Biden. Oh, Mount Rushmore of breakfast.
yes.
I thought we were going with bad presidents. See how I included both? You can't
Yes.
come at me.
Yes.
I hate them both equally. It's got to be biscuits and gravy, but it has to be made my specific way.
Yes.
Double the meat, first of all. There's never enough meat at a restaurant, biscuits and gravy. I use spicy sausage,
Yes.
and if it's not dyed gray from the pepper amount, it's not good.
You got to use a shitload of pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spicy sausage, like 1 teaspoon of pepper per ounce of fluid. I don't know.
You got to get the red pack.
And then the biscuits have to be buttermilk. They have to be a nice fluffy buttermilk biscuit. So that's definitely my number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, I'm going to go with maple sausage links.
Okay.
I'm making it in my head as we go.
Yeah.
Number 3 is, I mean, we talked about it last week, but the steak, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich from McDonald's is just a fire fucking sandwich.
Becca, that's probably her all-time
Yeah,
favorite.
and that breakfast sauce, which it feels like it's like a hollandaise sauce, but it's not. It's like mustard and mayo with some spices.
It's a unique sauce. I can't describe it, but
Yeah.
it is good.
So that, but that typically, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't had it since I've pretty much stopped drinking. That was my hangover meal. Was that with one of the McDonald's breakfast burritos? Which there's also something magical about their breakfast burritos. It's just sausage, peppers,
There's
melted
nothing
cheese,
to it, but it's good.
But there's something about the way they make it that makes that cheese fucking great, and their hot picante sauce is amazing. So anyway, the steak, egg, and cheese bagel sandwich, that'll be my number 3. And then for my number 4, again, I'm going to go with a fast food restaurant. It's the honey butter chicken biscuit from Wendy's.
You know what? I've only had it one time, but my experience has been good when I did have it. Going back to the steak sandwich from McDonald's, it went off the menu for quite a few years.
Yeah.
And
It was COVID.
And I'd say about 2 years ago, Becca was just craving it. And she seen it on, I don't know, one of the social medias, someone having one. She's like, So we Googled. There was a McDonald's in Ohio that had it. So we called, are you serving the sandwich? Yes. That following morning, we drove all the way to Ohio so she could get that.
I cannot blame you guys because first of all, I was on my travel job when they brought it back in the test markets, and everywhere I went, I'm like, is this one of the test markets? And I finally found one.
Yeah,
they were serving it somewhere in Texas. I was in like Podunk, Texas. I was like in Odessa.
Okay.
And there was a McDonald's that had it, and I ordered 2, and I fucking smashed them, and I regret it. And then I also, during COVID, when gas was $1.50, it's not the former president or former current president that did that. That's supply and demand, everyone. No one was driving, so gas prices plummeted.
Yeah.
But with gas prices plummeting, Scott and myself decided to drive down. And I think we talked about it already. Sturgis, Michigan, which is about a 5-hour round trip. We brought a cooler, and we bought $200 worth of Hot Now.
Yes.
And we froze them. And you know what? We ordered them with nothing on them because we were freezing them, and we could add our own condiments. They didn't freeze and thaw perfectly, but they were good enough. I think I even got you 10 of them, and you froze them. I'm pretty sure.
You didn't deliver. I ordered 10. I never got them.
I think
Still waiting.
No, I'm 99% sure. You're 79 years old, and your memory's fucking shot.
Never got them.
I don't believe you one bit.
Before I had gastric, I said to Becca, we got to make a trip down there. I want to have that before I have my
Soon
surgery.
you won't have to drive all the way down there. They're opening 2 new ones.
No way.
They're coming back a little bit. And there's also a shorter trip. It's in Bay City, which is an hour and a half. But there is a clone of it. It's called like Burger 21.
Okay.
It's the exact same thing. They have the olive burgers and everything's the same. So there's that. Now, I don't know what just sparked my memory before we get to my father's
Mount Rushmore
breakfast. My travel job. And I talked about getting 2 breakfast sandwiches, greasy fucking steak sandwiches from McDonald's. I have shared this story with a decent amount of people, but Tommy, have I ever told you the story of when I had a fecal emergency heading to the airport?
No.
Okay. Might as well get into it. I'm sorry if anyone's listening that works janitorial at DTE airport, or DET.
Tommy, you really don't want to hear this.
So,
because I've heard it.
I was DJing a wedding.
Okay.
And I was on a 7 a.m. flight. And as I do at weddings, I was drinking. And I was drinking till 2 in the morning. Went home. By the time it was at Selfridge, so by the time I got home, it was 3 in the morning. I had to wake up 2 hours later. So add wedding food, well liquor, bubble guts, and I'm driving to the airport for a 7 a.m. flight, and I am holding my sphincter. When I finally get to park, you know how the cramps when you have to shit real bad, they come and go. And you get a really bad one, and then it clears, and you're like, I can make it. Yeah,
you tighten the stomach muscles, and you're good for 5 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah. And then so I pull in, and as I'm pulling into the parking garage, the cramp comes back. I park in the corner, I was about to squat and take a shit in the corner of the parking garage. Cramp clears. I grab my suitcase and I run into fucking the airport. There's no bathrooms right when you get into the airport. The closest one is downstairs at baggage claim. So I run down. I'm at the escalator. I run down the escalator. Let me rephrase it. I step on the escalator. It's going down. Cramp comes back. I'm standing. It's harder to tighten those muscles when you're standing than sitting. I am clenching hard. I'm thinking I'm about to shit myself on the escalator. And this was
DTW.
And this was my first solo trip on my travel job. So I'm like, I'm going to shit my pants, miss my flight, and get fired. I waddle my ass to the bathroom, and I shit you not. Pun intended. I get into the stall. As I'm pulling my pants down, let's just say, projectile shit all over the wall. I'm not joking. It was... I've never seen something like this in even movies. You ever seen that scene where the girl sneezes in Hall Pass and she plasters the back wall? That was me. And so I shit all over the wall. I can't stop. The place is disgustingly covered. The seat, the handles, the wall. No one else is in this bathroom because it's like 5:30 in the morning. And I exit.
So move to the next
I
one.
exit the stall, waddle my ass with my ass hanging out because I didn't pull my pants up because I'm like, I don't know where the liquid shit is. I waddle
ankle warmers.
I waddle my ass. I'm bare-assed in the main fucking bathroom. I waddle my ass 2 stalls over. Then a guy walks in. And I'm in the stall already, and he goes, "What the fuck?" And I go, "Yeah, some motherfucker just came in and shit everywhere and left." And I'm like, I felt so bad. I cleaned myself up, and I made it to my flight. I had to shit like 3 more times on that 2-hour flight. Oh my god, it was one of the stupidest, scariest, most uncomfortable situations of my entire life.
I think Saturday Night Live did a skit like that too.
You never know when it's going to hit. And Shelby has a video of me driving my truck one time, and I had one of those cramps, and we're only a mile away from home, and she's laughing, just filming it. I'm like, it ain't funny. If I shit my pants, you're going to clean it.
The only I haven't had, I don't think, that bad of an emergency. The only time I can think of where I've actually had problems was, well, Scott's brother thinks it's hilarious because I was on the phone with him. I left Scott's house after one of his parties, and I decided to stop at a McDonald's, and I was in my 300 at the time, and we were talking on the phone because he was making sure I was on the way home and all this fun stuff, and I'm McDonald's, and you couldn't leave the drive-thru. They had a curb, and I was locked in. I had like 3 cars ahead of me, 3 cars behind me. It's 2:30 in the morning, and I had to piss. And I had a Mountain Dew bottle. I whip it out, and I just piss in the bottle.
If you haven't pissed in a bottle in your car, you aren't living.
I filled that thing up, and I said, and I'm still on the phone. I'm like, I'm full. I don't know what to do. And as you know, you can't stop once you go.
Oh, you can. It just stings. I can't stop when it starts. It stings.
Dumb and Dumber. I said, I gotta go, and I just went all over myself. So
at least
I get to the window, you know, unbeknownst to them, but I had just pissed all over myself. Then I get home, and I have to waddle in drenched. Have to go in, change. Have to go outside, clean up, and it was a whole That's the worst that I can think of.
One time I was driving my ex and her friend home, and her friend was in the back seat, and she goes, "I really have to pee." We were drinking, and I'm like, "Okay, we're on the expressway." I'm like, "Next exit, I'll pull over." Mm-hmm. We were on 75, and it happened to be the exit between like 59 and I think the next one's like Crooks. It's like a 4-mile stretch. So I finally pull over at Crooks or 16 Mile, and I'm like, there's nothing open. It was like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. So I'm like, I pulled in the back of an office building, and I pulled back there, and she goes, "I already peed." I'm like, this whole time you couldn't have fucking said. She just pissed her pants in my back seat. So there, but I am proud. When we have Andy on next week, make sure you remind yourself to bring up, Andy, when's the last time you pooped your pants? Because the fucking man says he shits himself once a year. It's like clockwork.
What?
I haven't shit my pants since I was 10 years old, thankfully. Closest I had was that airport incident. But I don't actually shit my pants, and I have IBS, so you have to learn when you know, pick your battles. Anyway.
Okay.
Mount Rushmore of breakfast.
Wow, that was a segue.
How did we go from breakfast to that?
I talked about McDonald's.
Okay, Mount Rushmore. If I was building my idyllic meal, it would have to be biscuits and gravy, spicy,
Yeah.
shitload of bacon,
Gross. You know me.
corned beef hash,
Ooh, why didn't I think of that one?
and a nice big glass of orange juice. And maybe some rye toast.
Well, how about this? We'll save the drinks. I will keep. We'll all select drinks at the end. Yeah, I know. We'll select drinks at the end, so don't use a slot for that.
Okay. So I'll put on my corned beef hash, bacon,
Biscuits and gravy.
biscuits and gravy, and let's do rye toast.
Rye toast. Okay. So then your drink would be orange juice. What about your drink?
So typically I'm going with apple juice.
Yeah.
But if it's the McDonald's Minute Maid, there's something just magical about it. Those are an equal tie. If I'm eating McDonald's, it's going to be the orange juice. If I'm having breakfast anywhere else and I'm getting something other than water, it's apple juice.
Okay. Mine would probably be bacon. I know you're a hater on the bacon. And
It's fucking pig fat skin.
mine would be. This was a toss up because I already had thought about it. I was going to be a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Then I'm like, oh man, should I do biscuits and gravy? And I was on the fence. And then you guys both went biscuits and gravy, and I'm like, yeah, it's got to be the biscuits and gravy. So I'm going that. French toast and a Western omelet.
Ooh.
And then for my drink, it would be apple juice, but I'm thinking I'm going to switch and maybe do apple cider because I typically like apple cider more than apple juice.
That's not a breakfast drink.
Well, then I'll stick with apple juice.
Yeah, you go to a family diner and go, can I have apple
Yeah,
cider? They're going to laugh at
Can
you.
I get apple cider from Blake's?
Now, Blake's is not the best apple cider.
No, you like that place over in Birmingham.
Franklin Cider Mill.
Yeah.
It's Franklin.
Franklin. Okay.
And they specifically make a Honeycrisp only apple cider. First of all, Honeycrisp is the best apple in my opinion. Second of all, you make a cider
second
out of
that.
it. It's amazing. The only problem, I've only had one problem, and we both had it this past time. I think they made it a little too early, or the apples weren't quite pasteurized. I don't even know if they pasteurize apple cider. I don't think they do. Anyway, it was almost like fizzy, and it's like it was at the turning point when we bought it.
It was fermenting.
Yeah, so it didn't taste as good, so...
I was talking to somebody from Kansas last night.
Kansas?
Yeah, and I was live that you jumped in.
Yeah.
And I was talking about apple cider, and she's like, what is apple cider? She's never had apple cider because they don't have cider mills or anything. And I was trying to explain the difference between apple juice and apple cider to her.
It's unfiltered apple juice, basically.
Yeah, I said it's the
Just
freshest
pressed apples.
Yeah, pressed apples. It's delicious.
I have it's the weirdest fucking machine in the world. It's by Emeril Lagasse's brand. It's a pasta maker, juicer, sorbet maker. Weird combo.
That is...
but when you really figure it out that they all just use something that presses and squeezes out stuff, you figure out it makes sense. And when I got it, made some apple cider, and it was just so fucking good.
Yeah.
So it just unfortunately takes a lot of apples to make a glass of apple juice. I think a whole 6-pound bag only yielded like 3 or 4 cups.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. So now, last week I did like blind rank these 5 things. I have 2. So these be quick fire. These are handheld foods. I want you to blind rank these.
Is this Earl of Sandwich?
No, but my first one would be empanadas. Rank them 1 through 5.
5.
Some of them can be really good, though.
Oh, happy Cinco de Mayo, by the way. Empanada Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
I think I will go with a 5 on it, too, because there's just so many different varieties. You can have some good ones, you can have some horrible ones.
Yeah, when I was writing this down, Becca's like, now are we doing beef? Are we doing chicken? Are they going to be, baked? Are they deep fried? I'm like, hey, they can discuss that. That's up to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about chicken Caesar wrap?
4.
I gotta agree with you.
What the hell are you doing here, Tommy? Picking shitty foods?
Chicken quesadillas.
Ooh. I'm gonna
So-
move that to a 3.
A lot of people, it's a local bar, Tipsy's. A lot of people seem to love theirs. I think your average bar or restaurant quesadilla is boring as shit. It's chicken, cheese, and a little bit of taco seasoning typically. But if you give me a chicken quesadilla from Taco Bell and you give that creamy jalapeno sauce on it, it changes it. So if I'm going with the Taco Bell one, it's a 2. If I'm going with a regular average restaurant one, I'm going with a 3. So is this what I want?
Yeah.
I'm going Taco Bell, and I'm going to put it at a 2.
Okay. You said
Sticking
3?
with a 3.
Here's a weird one, because I don't even know if you guys like this type, but a Boston cream donut.
How did you get to this? It's like sandwich, meat pie, donut. And here's the problem: is that's my favorite kind of donut.
It's a 1.
Okay, because I love Boston cream donuts.
So do I.
I mean, I prefer a Bavarian cream, but I'm gonna
Especially if it's chilled.
put especially. You want an espresso shot?
Can I have a glass of water too?
Yeah, sure. Wash your hands first.
Yep.
I'm gonna put it at a 3, hoping number 1 is better, but I do prefer a Bavarian cream. So
Okay, I'm going to give this is a little more open. A fully loaded burrito or your favorite type of burrito.
easy. That is a good one then.
Yeah.
A chorizo Americano burrito.
Yeah. Now, I'm guessing whatever number you
I've
had
only
left
got
over.
a 2
yeah,
left.
Yeah. So funny you mentioned about bar Tipsy's enchiladas because
Quesadillas.
Sorry. Rapid fire is rank these bar foods. Pretzels and cheese.
2.
3.
3. Okay. Chicken wings.
Ooh, well. Any bar?
Any bar.
If it's-
As an app, if you go to a bar,
If it's done right, they're one of the best. It's a 1. That's good for me.
okay.
I'll go 2.
2. Jalapeno poppers.
Ooh. A good jalapeno popper. I can go 1 on that.
Okay.
4.
Chicken tenders. And as I wrote this down, I thought of fridge.
5.
Okay.
4.
Spin dip.
I'm happy with 3 there. I love a spin dip.
I only got 5 left.
Yeah. Okay. So that I guess that concludes my food part. I do have more things.
Talking to the microphone.
I do have more things that are not food related that I want to touch on. Do you have any food related things you want to touch?
I have a ton of food related. That's what the
I
theme
know.
of this shit is.
Well, if you're on the subject of food, I want to interrupt here just for a second. And I know how you feel about this, but I'm going to throw something out there. What is your favorite all-time chain restaurant to go to?
Favorite chain restaurant? Oh, man.
Are we talking national chain, local chain? How many restaurants define a chain for you?
Yeah, are we talking 4 or are we talking...
Let's say 50 and above.
Okay.
Okay, so bigger chains.
Bigger chains.
Are we eliminating fast food out of here?
Your favorite chain restaurant. Don't care.
Put me on the spot here.
I know.
I gotta go with. No, I don't even want to feel comfortable with that one. Tommy, you go.
I'm in the same boat as you, dude. I'm trying to think. Because
Applebee's.
What would be your go-to? Say you were hungry right now and you're going to run out. Where would your first thought be?
it would be like a carry-out Chinese restaurant, so that's why I'm trying to think.
Yeah, that's the thing is I don't do chains very often.
But we discussed this.
Yeah, last week.
And I will say right now, the best of the best would be Chili's. Or the best of the worst.
Yeah. It's definitely up there. You know what? I'm going to go because of a couple reasons. They have good chicken tenders. They have a variety of burgers. And I do love their garlic parm fries and all their specialty off-menu dips. Red Robin.
Ooh, that's a good one. I have not had a bad experience at Red Robin.
I think they're one of the better chains.
I was there last week.
And they're consistent. I've never.
Yeah.
It's always the same.
Like I just said, I've never had a bad experience there. They did back in the day have a thing called the Red Robin's Rice Bowl. They took it off the menu. It was basically just a stir fry with chicken. And it had teriyaki sauce. I loved it. But their Whiskey River barbecue burger, their
That
bonsai
is
burger.
good.
I like their bonsai burger. That's
I
the one with the jalapeno.
jalapeno.
Jalapeno discs and
No, that's the pineapple with the teriyaki.
Your pineapple and teriyaki.
Are you talking about Five Alarm Burger?
Five Alarm?
Great.
They also, when they brought out their Jim Beam burger, anyone named James or a derivative of James got a free burger, and I went to like 6 different ones around the area and ate for free.
That's a good pull. I do agree with the Red Robin.
So I'm going to chime in with Red Lobster, even though so much of it I do not like. But they have one dish that if I'm really hungry, that I will go for.
The Admiral's Feast?
The Admiral's Feast, every time.
Double clam strips?
No clam strips.
I know.
Scallops.
If you were going to go...
I do like their fried scallops.
If you were going to go all out, money not an option, in the state of Michigan, where are you going to go for food?
Money's no option in Michigan. Shit. Probably Prime and Proper.
Prime and Proper?
That's probably my favorite steakhouse I've ever had in Michigan. It's either going to be that or Mabel Gray, which is in Hazel Park. And they are...
Mabel Gray.
Yeah, tasting menu. So you get, 12 small dishes. But their menu changes every week. That's a fun experience.
Is it called the Gray Ghost? Is that
Yeah, Detroit.
in Detroit?
Yeah.
Gray Ghost. I think the Whitney may be a little overrated. I think. But this one I would do far as for maybe a date night for what it is, and you'll understand when I get there. It just left me. Cliff Bells.
I've never been there.
One time I went, and like if I want to take back on a real nice, go to the Jazz Club downtown Detroit. It's expensive food, expensive drinks. You're probably not going to get out of there with having a couple drinks and food, probably $200, $250. But
yeah, that's a cheap high end date.
yeah,
it's
a high. It's
but it's cheaper for a high end date.
Yeah.
Shelby just mentioned wanting to go there yesterday when we were downtown at the Manson concert. So no, I've never been there. Mm-hmm. Now I will say if you're a local and you want just an old school rustic steakhouse, now Prime and Proper is my favorite steakhouse, but they're hoity-toity fancy steakhouse.
Yeah.
If you want an old classic 1970s steakhouse, you go to London Chop House.
I've heard of it, never been there.
That's your old classic one. That's your Mr. Paul's Chop House of Detroit.
Okay.
So that's what I would suggest for that. So that would be my 3 choices: Mabel Gray, London Chop House, and Prime
Mabel
and Proper.
Gray, man, that's a good pull.
See, I'm a lot simpler than you guys are, though, when it comes to food.
I just want a slab of ribs from Famous Dave's. And
Famous
No,
name.
actually, I was going to say red crab.
the seafood restaurant's not bad too, but most of your steakhouses are going to have good seafood too.
But I'm a seafood nut.
Yeah. But you go to Prime and Proper, you get yourself a 22-ounce tomahawk and a pound of king crab legs, and then they have raw oysters that are off. You can get East Coast or West Coast. You got scallops. They have everything there.
And I like Mexican cuisine, and so does Becca. And so every time we're like, look, you want to go downtown Detroit, go to a restaurant? Freaking, we always end up at Mexican Village.
See, that's not even the best one there.
I don't think they're all that great.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm just saying we always end up saying, hey, we're going to go downtown Detroit for a nice night out. And we just always end up at a Mexican Village.
I know we have our Mexican town instead of Chinatown here, but like the best Mexican food around is not in Mexican town. It's Tienda Mexicana in Madison Heights. It's a little Mexican mart with half of it's converted to a restaurant.
That's about as authentic as you can get.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Okay,
fantastic.
so I'm trying to place it. Where are we talking?
It's right behind the 7-Eleven at
okay, I know.
Whitcomb and John R.
Right there where the Red Robin is.
Right across the street from it.
Yes, directly across the street.
Yeah.
It is a Mexican mart with 8 tables and a grill in the back.
I will be going there.
You want something to drink, you walk over to the supermarket half, get your drinks and whatever you want, and you go back to your table. You don't pay for it until you're all done.
Yeah, it's that little plaza.
It's right
behind the 7-Eleven.
It's in the
and
corner.
In that bar right there used to be Augie's. I can't remember what it's called now.
It's a Mexican place now.
Okay.
There's like a boom of Mexican restaurants popping up around here. Most of them are subpar.
Have you been to the one at 16 in Rochester called Grand Castor?
No.
I went there maybe a year and a half ago. Had a decent experience. Been there one time. It was not bad.
My big thing is a lot of these places are Tex-Mex, and I'm not huge Tex-Mex. Mm-hmm. I prefer authentic Mexican over Tex-Mex any day. So there's that. Anyway,
Yeah.
I have a couple questions for you guys.
Okay.
First of all, what is the most delicious food that you've ever seen in a movie or a TV show? Something that you just saw and you're like, even if it's fake, just damn, I want to eat that. And, you know, you got a lot of people say like the pizza from a Goofy movie. Things like it's animated.
That was honestly one of the first things where they're sitting in the water.
I'm gonna get you a mic on a strap to your head. Like you and Fridge both need one. Look at your microphone. Look at me with your eyes.
Yeah, where they're in where Goofy and Pete are in the pool, and they're sitting there in that cheese, and that was honestly one of the first things that came to my mind. Help me out. Let's see.
Ratatouille. You could have that. I know what mine is. I'll just say mine while you guys are thinking. It's the feast from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know, it's just you have everything you can imagine there. The close second would be the chocolate factory from Willy Wonka, because I'm not even much of a sweets person, but you know I want that fizzy lifting soda. I want that everlasting gobstopper. I want all that food. Fun fact, by the way, they used real dairy in the Chocolate River, and it's spoiled, so the whole set smelled like sour milk when they were filming it. So that would have been wonderful.
I can't even come up with one.
Oh, you guys suck. Tommy's up here Googling it.
Yeah, I was trying to get some, what's the word I'm looking for? Inspiration. Because, like the Goofy movie pizza was the first thing that came to my mind.
I mean, just go with it then. Go with your gut.
The cheesy pepperoni pizza that when they picked it up, it was just
just got the cheese pool.
Yeah.
And I don't even like pizza, and that pizza looks great.
See, and I'm thinking the only thing I'm coming up with is the old-fashioned black and white shows where, like, Leave It to Beaver, where Mom always had the spread on the table, and you had 16 courses every day for dinner. That's what I would love.
Yeah, they also made it unrealistic for housewives of the future. You ever seen the
go back in time.
You ever seen the commercials though? The black and white commercials of like when they had like soup coming out in cans for the first time, and the guy's like eating beef stew, and they're like, "This is really good. We should have beef stew more often." And she's like hiding a can behind her back, and she's like, "It was no problem." Like, that's such a stupid commercial.
Watching some of the old 50s commercials are actually really hilarious.
Yeah.
Or some of the ads that were in the newspaper.
So in the same breath, in the same light, what is the best fake band or song in a TV or movie?
Ooh, I love Scotty Doesn't Know in Euro Trip.
That's a good one. By the band Lustra.
This is
what's that one movie with Tom Hanks that everyone loves?
That Thing You Do.
That Thing You Do.
That's actually a good soundtrack. The Wonders.
Yeah.
The Wonders. The Wanderers.
The Oneaters.
The Oneaters.
That Thing You Do.
So mine is gonna be the song, the main song. I don't even know what they called it, but from the movie Music and Lyrics, with Drew Barrymore and Hugh Grant.
Oh, I know the movie. I'm trying to.
A Way Back Into Love.
Yes,
that's the name of the song. So it was, a pop star that wanted an old retro 80s artist to write her a song and duet it with her. But that's a great, that's probably when it comes to like rom-coms up there in my top 5.
If you want more funny, together. Remember that?
Yeah.
You plus me equals us.
Yep.
I know my calculus. That one was pretty funny. But yeah, Scotty Doesn't Know immediately came to my mind.
Scotty doesn't.
Matt Damon playing.
Yeah. Which you don't even recognize him.
No,
You
no,
don't
no,
really
no.
know it's because he's tattooed and pierced up with a shaved
Yeah.
head. Old man, you got anything?
Nope. Got nothing for you there.
Failed on both of these.
Worthless.
Why is he even a guest?
Like you said, you scraped the bottom of the barrel.
All right, let's stick with the music then.
Okay.
You're in the WWE. What's your walkout music?
Oh crap.
All I hear is heavy breathing. And it's not even from the culprit you expect. It's my dad.
I just got it. I know it was used in a movie in Southpaw, but I do really like Eminem Phenomenal.
Arner Palmer. Sorry. Phenomenal
By
Arner Palmer.
I do like that one. But I don't feel like it goes hard. Like if I'm a wrestler, I would want more something that hits.
You think that, but I'll tell you mine.
Okay.
Tiny Tim's Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Oh my God, that is great.
That would be mine. Not only does it have the horror aspect for a lot of people, but I sing it at karaoke.
That is a great song.
That would absolutely be. It would go against my persona because it would be Tiny Tim's Tiptoe Through the Tulips, and I'd come out probably like old school Kane or Undertaker or one of those gothy type guys.
Yeah.
That would totally be me.
How about you?
A Boy Named Sue.
Yeah, right.
Thong song?
WWE, huh?
Gordon Lightfoot. I'm just thinking.
Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
I would probably have to go with, what is that, All By Myself?
All by
Yeah,
myself.
Because if I'm in the WWE, nobody's watching.
I'm thinking you're going to pick like, oh gosh, who's that American Mexican singer, country singer that you like?
American Mexican country singer.
American.
70s guy, sings in Spanish half the time.
Freddie Fender?
Freddie Fender, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Before the next teardrop calls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
False.
that's it.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what I'm imagining you coming out to.
That would be a good one, though.
Oh, so yeah. I don't know why. I just think it would be really funny to see Tiny Tim have come out there. So we talked about it last week for a minute off air. Spam.
No.
Okay. Yes.
No.
Okay, go ahead and talk about it because I got something to tell you.
First of all, I love Spam. You fry it up, get it crispy, you throw it over some eggs. It's fucking delicious. You get the jalapeno Spam or the maple Spam. Add that to your breakfast eggs. It's delicious. You look disgusted.
No.
You'd rather eat pig fat skin, bacon,
All day long.
than mechanically separated pork.
I'd eat bacon raw before I'd have Spam.
You probably have eaten bacon raw.
Damn near.
I mean, I remember specifically one time you had a party and you ran out of propane when my brother was cooking hamburgers in the backyard in the dark. And he's like, they've been on there for a while. I think they're done. And my dad went out there and threw one on a bun because he was hungry and drinking beer. And he didn't check it. It was raw. It was just, he's like, it's mush. But then again, I mean, my grandparent, I'm pretty sure my grandma would just salt
Grandmother.
raw ground beef and eat it raw. Oh. I'm like,
She would add raw onion to it, though.
that's just disgusting.
It's still raw meat though.
I like kibbe. Have you ever had kibbe? Mm-mm. It's a Middle Eastern dish. It's typically made with raw lamb or raw beef. I can't get behind that.
No.
I'll eat it cooked, but it's just spiced, onioned, raw beef and lamb, and I can't do it. It's a Middle Eastern thing. But you give me like a steak tartare, I'm in.
I was going to say, you're going to do tuna and tartare and everything else, and you're not going to... You can't do that?
There's something about... When you ground it up, it gets
Yeah.
gross textured. I'm sorry. It's just... Steak tartare at least has spices and substance and egg and mustard and peppercorns and all that shit.
You got to be more open.
I don't need to be open enough to eat raw ground beef, okay?
And I don't have to be open enough to eat Spam.
Yeah, you fucking do.
No.
Have you ever had it?
Yeah, it's nasty.
So,
Dog food in a can.
You eat corned beef hash, which literally smells like dog
It
food.
truly looks like dog food, too, when you open it.
Actually, the most dog food smelling thing in a can for some reason is split pea soup. You ever smelled split pea soup out of a can? It smells like fucking Alpo dog food.
Alpo dog food.
I don't know if I've ever had split pea out of a can.
I have, and well, first of all, it's not as good as yours, which I'll give you the compliment. There's two things you make better than anyone: it's stuffed cabbage and split pea. But split pea out of a can smells like dog food.
Just don't buy it.
So you mentioned Spam last week.
Yeah.
Grocery shopping on Friday.
Did you buy Spam?
I picked
What
up
was
Spam.
that laugh?
Don't they have different flavors of Spam?
Did you not hear me 2 seconds ago?
With bacon, with jalapeno, with there was
the
like
maple
5
one's
or
actually
6.
really good. It tastes like maple sausage.
And
And they have
I-
like 20 kinds. It's insane.
At Kroger, there was at least 5-6 different that I seen, and I said, "Where?" I said, "Becca, do you know what aisle Spam is? I think it might be in this aisle."
Canned meat aisle.
Spam, and I said, "Yeah." Wow, I like Spam. I haven't had that in forever. I'm like, James talked about it last week, and now I got it on my mind, and I can't get it off my mind. And yeah, I bought a few cans.
All right. So I know we talked about wanting to do where I take Tommy's foods he doesn't like and try and make him like them.
Yeah,
I'm going to make you like Spam.
Probably not going to happen.
I'm going to prepare Spam in a way that you've never had it, and you're going to try it because I know you're an open-minded eater. You'll try it.
I'll try it.
And I know you'll rate it, you'll review it accurately.
so you'll make it one way, and I'll even make it one way.
Sure.
You know what I ranked? When you mention Spam, there's always another food that I always associate with it. That little devil chicken shit or whatever it is.
The Vienna sausage?
No, it comes in.
Vienna sausage?
It's a little can, and it's wrapped in paper. And it's like a sandwich spread type stuff.
Yeah, it's Hornell luncheon meat.
Whatever it is, you open that can up, it's just barf city.
They make another brand. Aldi makes their brand, and it's almost like a rounded triangular can. But it's disgusting.
It is so bad. So bad.
So we still definitely have to do that, though. I'm going to make you like ranch, probably. I'm going to try ranch something.
I despise it, but I like food, and I'm always willing to try.
I know for a fact, especially now with my new job sending me out to Novi and Farmington Hills a lot, I'm going to have to get some Cheesecake Factory going for you.
Okay.
So you can try some. I mean, listen, their food is overpriced. It's okay. But their cheesecake is legitimately awesome.
I know, and we're going a little off topic here. We like RC. We love cherry RC.
Yeah.
Do you know they make it berries and cream?
Yes, it's awful.
I tried it, and I wasn't sure if you had it. I tried the blackberry Dr. Pepper.
I hate that too.
It was terrible.
It tastes like medicine.
Perfect. The berries and cream was drinkable. Becca liked both, but liked the berries and cream way better. And I was curious if you had tried it.
Yeah, no, not a fan. Although it does make me think of the Skittles commercial. Berries and cream, berries and cream.
I'm a little lad who likes berries and cream.
This is speaking of black and white commercials, even though that's new. Speaking of Skittles, I actually had this written down. What is the best chewy or gummy candy? Because I put Skittles in that category. I mean, sure, they have a candy shell, but they're chewy, in my opinion.
Does gummy bears...
That's a chewy or gummy candy?
I love freaking gummy bears.
Why they gotta be freaking?
I like any of those chewy things that have the sour.
So, like, Gushers?
Gushers are good.
Gushers are good.
I like a good Sour Patch Kid.
The Sour Patch are good.
Mike and Ike's.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, all day.
Now, do you guys remember Zours, which is basically sour Mike and Ike's?
Yeah.
Actually, if you go in that middle drawer right there, I believe there's Sweet Tart Ropes. Those are some of the best I've ever had.
What about Zots?
Do they even exist anymore?
They
I
do
haven't
up on the
seen
East
them
Coast.
forever.
Last time I seen them, they were up by Atlantic City.
I mean,
Those things are so good.
I know we talked about it, but I miss bottle caps still. So gummy bears.
Yeah.
Brand? Because Haribo is not the best.
You know what I actually really like is when I go to places that are like kind of like bulk food, and they have the tropical gummy bears.
Okay.
I really like.
I like the pineapple gummy bear.
The pineapple. I did see somewhere, I can't remember if it was on TikTok or one of the socials, Haribo makes all pineapple bag. And I've looked, they're supposedly at any dollar store. So the other day I went and I looked, I couldn't find them. And Becca said, well, if I'm out and I see them, I'll grab them. But yeah, I like the pineapple.
So there is a candy store at Oakland Mall. And they have the bins.
Yeah.
You know, scoop your own weighed out candy. Whatever you get, it's all the same. And they had gummy kiwis. And they were one of the best gummy candies I ever had in my life. And I went back there twice. They're out of them. They don't have them. They don't know if they're restocking them. And Shelby and I, a couple weeks ago, we went to 12 Oaks Mall. And they had a candy store. And I'm like, let's check it. They didn't have them, but they had this from Japan, made with real gummy kiwi candy. And it might be in one of these drawers right now. We'll have to look.
Okay.
It trumps, not only in texture, but flavor, any gummy candy I've ever had in my entire life. And they have like pineapple and mango and cherry.
Oh, man.
And I need to go back and try them.
You gotta.
They are that good.
Yeah.
So you're what kind of sour is your specific one?
Probably the Sour Patch Kids. I mean, it's not Sour Patch Kids. Yes, Sour Patch.
And what's your favorite flavor of Sour Patch Kids?
All of them. I don't have a favorite.
So a lot of them, they make the more popular flavors in individual bags now, and I will do the blue raspberry ones. Personally, that's my favorite.
I mean, I don't hate them. It just was never something that I would go and grab.
See, I'm not that much of a candy eater.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do get them, I think it probably sways my decision because it's almost like a novelty to me. So it makes a difference. If I had them all the time, probably not.
Yeah.
So, as we're talking about food, I'm ordering our competition tonight.
Okay.
Which we're doing Big Buford versus the Whopper.
Oh, we are going to go ahead and do that. Okay.
Did you think I was not going to?
I had actually, you didn't say anything to me what we had on deck for our review. So I was like,
we talked about it last week.
Yes, but you said you were going to wait for Fridge and then,
Yeah, well, Fridge is being Fridge and not coming.
So are we just going to, am I going to replace him and you just call me Maytag?
No. So I'm ordering, as I'm ordering this, by the way, you said you're hungry? Tommy, are you hungry?
No.
I'm not that hungry, so I'm only going to need like a bite or two of everything. So the Big Buford combo is buy one, get one free, so you can have a whole meal.
I'll take some of the fries.
It's buy one, get one free. Well, they're both going to have fries.
Yeah, so I'll take some of the fries. If he's hungry, he can take the Buford.
But yeah,
but if he doesn't want doesn't want the Buford, I'll find room
within Uber Eats. The Big Buford meal, buy one get one free. Buy one get one free double cheeseburger in the app for Burger King as well. So
while you're talking about that, I have a question.
No.
Do you guys have any like what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Inside jokes with like your significant other that are like movie or TV show quotes. Like when your guys are talking, do you I'll take an example.
Can you talk into the mic when you give the example?
Yeah. So like
how many times?
I know. Like when Becca like say, "Oh, I'm cold," or she'll say, "Tommy, you're cold." I'll say, "Harry, your hands are freezing." And it always goes back to like a movie quote. Do you guys have?
Well, first of all, I have to say, because I'm full of stupid fun facts, that was an improv line.
Really?
Harry, your hands are freezing was an improv fucking line. But that is probably the funniest part of Dumb and Dumber. Because I can't feel my hands. Oh, you should take this extra pair of gloves. My hands are getting kind of sweaty.
You've had a pair of extra gloves this whole time. Yeah, we're in the Rockies. Duh. I'm going to kill you, Lloyd.
But yeah,
Harry, you got that crazy look in your eye.
Shelby and I quote Grandma's Boy all the time.
Okay.
It's our favorite movie together. That and an unknown rom-com of Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. It's called Blended.
Okay, yeah.
That's like our fall asleep movie, and like I remember one of the first times I ever went to the store for her to buy feminine things, and I'm in the feminine aisle and I'm doing the quote from the movie like Poissy. Oh, that's kind of close, guys. Always clean. I could use some of that myself. So that's probably the biggest one.
I wrote down a few that me and Becca had. Like, we have a few from like Brooklyn Nine-Nine because we watched that together. A lot of times we'll say like 9-9 from that show, and then like she's wrong a lot, and she don't like to admit it. But then she'll say, "I'm sorry, you were right." And Holt at one time he goes, "Vindication," and I'll quote that a lot. So I had that one that I thought of. If I'll say like, Becca, "Oh, you're being dumb" or "you're boring," she'll always say, "You're basic," and that was from like the Good Place. We constantly are quoting. If we ever hear the name Ted, Fred, Ned, anything that we always think of Ned Ryerson from Groundhog Day. Do you remember that?
I've only seen it once. Not a movie for me. My favorite joke, and it was honestly, it's weird because it crossed over multiple exes. Mm-hmm. But my favorite joke is where they sleep with other men and then I kick them out of my life. It's been an ongoing, recurring joke.
I surprisingly don't have a single quote that I do.
One that Becca, she loves the movie Son-in-Law with Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
Through the whole movie, he asks the grandpa if he can whittle wood with him. And, oh my God. So anytime I'm like in the middle of something, she wants something from me. Pappy, can I whittle wood with you? So she does that, and we have a couple WWE ones that you guys wouldn't understand.
It's not movie related, but I know a couple that you have with your wife. First of all, it's anytime you want to go do something, I got to ask the boss.
That's not from a movie, though.
No, he never said movies. He said inside jokes.
Like inside jokes or in.
For some reason, I thought you said movies. Actually, I do have one that we both use a lot. I've fallen and I can't get up.
Does that mean you just sat down?
That just means we got on the floor.
Yep.
Help. Please help.
Yeah, and for anyone younger than probably 30, that was Life Alert commercial.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then another one. This is probably less of an inside joke with Denise, but more of an inside joke that a recurring joke that you use when you're out. When you're out with the heathens that we hang out with and someone suggests the strip club, my dad always goes, Denise will just ask me if I need money to go. And it's true.
True fact.
So there is that.
Yeah. One we do a lot is anytime she'll say something, I always say, your mom. And she'll say, your mom. And I'm like, oh, we want to talk about mothers from White Chicks.
Yeah.
I hated that movie.
That movie's fucking phenomenal.
That is hilarious.
I hated it.
Your mom shops at Saks.
You know, Shelby never seen Me, Myself, and Irene. We watched it last night.
Oh my God.
And that for me, it's probably my second favorite Jim Carrey movie.
That movie is great.
It's one of Jim Carrey's raunchier comedies. It's fucking slapstick back-to-back jokes. And I was talking to Shelby about it. It's the only movie I can think of where Renee Zellweger is pretty. She got plastic surgery and ruined herself.
Yeah.
Like, that movie, she looked all right. So you mentioned, your mom.
Yeah.
There is so much slang that we grew up with. I don't even know if it was used ironically or even much at all. But I remember being in elementary school and saying shit like, talk to the hand.
Talk to the hand.
You ain't that in a bag of potato chips. Did we use them because we were dumb fucking kids, or were those actually going... My father can answer this better. Did adults use those fucking things in the 90s, or were we just dumb kids?
Never used it.
Okay. I'm guessing they were in a movie or a show somewhere and we were just dumb kids using it. Because I remember using it in middle school and
Talk to the hand was a big one.
Yeah, mid to
Because
late
the face
90s.
ain't listening.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever heard adults use that.
No. It
No,
had to be.
never.
But then again, you were in high school during some of the worst, stupidest fucking slang there is. So
But
Tubular.
right now, one of the slings.
radical.
And one of the big slings that means no lie is like no cap.
Yeah,
Where that's not in any movie that I'm aware of or any.
no, that's just kids being kids.
Yeah, so
I know.
Is that like the same thing? I mean,
I don't know, because I feel like even adults are saying shit like that. And another one is like no chat or yeah chat. Like you're talking to people that are. I'm like, you're alone. You're not live streaming. So
I'm sat.
I'm not. I think it's just kids come up with their own generations of slang. By the way, and it hit me when I watched it last time. The Breakfast Club. That came out in 85, I think.
My God.
And did Bart Simpson take Eat My Shorts from that? Because The Simpsons were 89. Because obviously Bart Simpson made that line very famous, and he doesn't use it anymore, but Eat My Shorts was said by Bender to print the teacher that was watching the detention.
Oh my God.
Shorts. You just bought yourself another detention.
I never even put that together.
I don't remember that.
In The Breakfast Club?
No.
It's when he's giving him like,
Yeah.
I got you for the rest of your life. Bender.
And he says, "Eat my shorts." You got another one. You want to make it an
Yeah. I got you another one. You want another one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, stop.
Yeah.
He's like, you mess with the bulls, you get the horns.
Yeah.
So that movie is one of my favorite 80s movies. I'm critical on the 80s for music and movies. I think it's the worst decade for both.
Uncle Buck was good.
I hate John Candy.
You
I
hate John
cannot
Candy?
stand John Candy's humor.
Okay.
I don't find him funny at all. I don't like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Okay.
I don't like Uncle Buck. Shelby's even hearing this because it's one of her favorites in the entire world.
Which one?
Or John Candy in general.
All of it? All of it.
Come on, talking to the mic for a second,
Yeah,
Shelby.
you can play your...
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Come on.
Fantastic movie.
The pancake. You could barely fit it through the door.
It's not a good movie. I'm sorry.
Him in that washing machine. Oh my gosh, the damn dryer. Oh, this hat, it angers people.
Cool
I
Running
go on
sucks.
all day.
The worst part of Home Alone is John Candy.
No. What? Oh my gosh.
Listen, I'm gonna say this.
I'm gonna
say this out loud.
He's a sacred
I'll say
treasure.
it.
He's a
I'll say it
treasure.
for you. John Candy was great.
He was
Great outdoors?
Yes. Oh.
Love it.
Oh, he was,
The
that
comedy
smoking
world
hot
got
wife
better
and
when
that?
the comedy here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna make sure everyone unsubscribes to this podcast right now. The comedy world got funnier when John Candy died.
You're forgive him,
You're wrong.
folks. You are wrong, and my daughters are raised on those movies.
Bold men with bold opinions. This podcast is not for the faint of heart. Okay, if you can't fucking handle it, there's the door. John Candy fucking blows.
You blow this. I'm taking a shower.
Enjoy. Think about John Candy while you're in there.
Maybe I will.
That's why she's with me. I'm a portly, funny guy. But I'm funnier than John fucking Candy. Anyway.
If you're going to talk about fat
I will
guys,
say this. Farley is way funnier than Candy.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Out of the...
I think it's two different types of humor, though.
Yeah, Farley was a hurricane.
Farley was slapstick comedy. John Candy wasn't comedy. So... Listen, out of the three famous fat guys that died, rank them for me right now. Three famous fat guys that are coming to mind: Belushi, Farley, Candy.
I think Belushi takes it all.
I'm gonna put Farley, then Belushi, then Candy at like number 9. That's how much I fucking hate Candy. I'll take Louis Anderson over John Candy. Let me put it that way.
I think what made it funny watching Louis was wondering if he was going to die on stage.
Louis Anderson or John Belushi?
Anderson.
Louis Anderson was great.
I know. But he also got up there and looked like he was ready to fall over dead.
So did Farley and so did Belushi.
Differently.
I mean, you ever seen Farley's last appearance? What talk show was that on where he did a cartwheel coming on and he couldn't catch his breath?
Letterman.
It was Letterman. Yeah, that was like within a year after that he passed away.
How about the buffet guy?
Buffet guy.
Yeah.
John Panette?
Yep.
Oh gosh,
You got to put him in there.
he's number one then. I put him above Farley.
I think he's going to jump in front of everybody.
Yeah. John Panette is absolutely
You go home.
one of my favorite comedians of all time.
I'm trying to think here, and I'm thinking of John Panette.
John Panette is mostly a food comedian, and I love the one where he's like, he was in Italy or France.
Oh my God, this
and
is
he's
hilarious.
like, I'm like, where can I find some good Italian food? I think they were in France. He's like, we're only 45 minutes from the border. Why don't we go? So we drove 45. I'm sorry. He said, I ran there before I could get there. They could drive there. And we sat down at this little mom and pop Italian shop. And I sat down and I know how to say feed me, I'm starving in Italian. I can say it in 16 languages if I need to. I can say it in ancient Arabic. And he's like, sofa affamato. And he's like, sofa affamato. Giuseppe, come here. And he's like, we'd like to order now. He's like, no. First we're going to give you some food. And then I'll let you take your order. And we brought a skinny guy with us. And he died. That and just, it might not fly nowadays, but he made fun of Asian accents a lot.
A lot.
He was really good at it.
Not only
too.
the buffet one, but he's like, you ever see Free Willy in Japan? They can't order their tickets. Free Riri. Free Riri.
Oh my God, you remind me of Shitty Walk.
I was trying to get a flight. Oh, shitty airline. No, but John Panette was absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Took a seal to the sushi bar. Remember that one?
Okay, so to answer your question, and even though you were making me laugh through that, I was trying to really think. I'm going through John Candy movies in my head. John Candy actually really wasn't funny in the movies, but the movie was good.
No, John Candy plays the straight man in the comedy duos. He
really
Abbott.
wasn't comedic.
He's the Abbott of Abbott and Costello. I mean, if you put it that way, he's the straight man.
Because
He sets up the punchlines for most people.
Because in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which I love, he irritated the crap out of me. Like, I wanted to strangle him. He was not funny.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Because I'm telling you right now,
that movie was supposed to be, like a true comedy.
and then I'm thinking Cool Runnings. He wasn't funny in Cool Runnings. Great Outdoors. He wasn't really funny in Great Outdoors. Uncle Buck. He had a couple one-liners, but he wasn't. I just enjoy that movie. So I would put him at 3. And I have a weird love for Chris Farley. There's no way I would put anybody above Farley. So it would Belushi just a shade under Farley.
All right. What's Farley's best role? You can pick a Saturday Night Live skit, a movie, anything. I'm going to go very underrated here. Beverly Hills Ninja.
Oh, man. He was so good in that. And that really cost him to his downfall because
It was a bomb.
it bombed and he thought people didn't like him.
I have a love for that movie.
That movie. One of my favorite lines in that movie, and I'll go back to what I was previously talking about, our little things between our significant others, but significant. I try to correct myself and I even screwed up worse. Haru, you are truly the great white ninja. Did I say ninja? I meant ninny.
Haru, you're the great white ninny.
But no, what I'll say when I'm trying to figure something out, I'm like, I really got to rethink my inks here. I say that all the time.
And how many people get it but me?
Yeah, you're the only one that understands it, Becca.
My favorite line from that movie is when he blindfolds himself and tries to have Chris Rock drive him back to the place. And he's like,
It's
turn right
wet.
here. He's like,
It's really wet.
Did you drive into the ocean?
Did you
Something touched my face.
Touch my face.
I love.
Okay, so I love that movie. Tommy Boy will always be my favorite movie of his, but man, great Beverly Hills Ninja is so good,
And you know
so
what?
good.
Tommy Boy overshadows a really strong second place, Black Sheep.
I just watched Black Sheep a couple weeks ago, just to watch.
It's the same movie in a different plot. You know, I mean, that's and I know that makes no sense for those that have seen both movies. It's the same damn movie. It's the same duo. It's the same kind of comedy. It's just they're trying to get someone elected instead of saving a corporation.
That checker scene, where he's like, "It's kind of hard to win when you never move your back row."
Yeah.
That was something that him and Spade used to do all the time, and he would finally just literally out of anger would want to choke Spade. So Spade would finally start moving his back row, and then he would finally get excited because he would win. So they added that to the movie. That was actually real life. So was the fat guy in the little coat, because Farley would never write skits, and he would always go into Spade. Spade, I finally wrote a skit. What'd you write? It's not the stupid fat guy in a coat thing. No, dude, I finally got one. Check it out. Okay, what do you got? Fat guy.
Hey, Richard, that's a pretty lady down there. What's your favorite little rascal?
Is it alfalfa or is it Spank?
Spanky?
I wonder if you're watching Spanktravision. Tommy Scram, don't give her the weight room thing.
Do
you know where the weight room is?
A little off subject, but still on the subject of movies. Do you guys have a movie that if you are flipping through the channels and it comes on, that you will stop every time?
A ton of them, actually.
That was my next subject
shit.
that I had written down. What is like a cheesy or just a guy flick that you can't pass up if it's on?
The first one that comes to mind with me is Rudy.
Okay, I had Roadhouse. I love that stupid. I love
the
that
original?
stupid. The original.
Yeah.
They're both terrible.
I said cheesy bad guy movies.
It was. I have to agree with you. I think first off, the original is the best.
I would love to get a T-shirt. Now that I'm getting skinny, I can go to. Well, let me rephrase it. Now that I'm getting smaller, I can go on Amazon and get shirts, or I can go to like the stores like T Public and I can get one. I want a shirt that says like Double Deuce or like Dalton's 3 Rules. I want a shirt now that says that.
So with new technology, especially like I have a Plex server, so I download movies that I want to see. Mm-hmm. Typically, when I have access to cable and I'm scrolling through, it's a movie that I don't have downloaded and that I go, ooh, I should download that. The one that comes to mind that I will always stop and watch is Tremors. I don't have it downloaded.
Great movie.
But I love that fucking movie.
Original?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime I see Tremors on, I will watch it. I don't care how far into it is. I just love that movie.
And the acting is so bad.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
You got
horrible.
Reba. You got Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon's never really been a good actor to me. He's in so much shit, but he's not that good of an actor.
Like one movie I like him in, and it's a decent horror movie, Stir of Echoes.
Yeah, and he was also in X-Men First Class.
Yes.
So, anyway, I'm going to backtrack just a minute. We talked about Farley's best roles.
Oh yeah.
Belushi's best role.
Oh, going back a little.
Samurai.
I got to go with Blues Brothers.
I was gonna say Blues Brothers. Mine.
Him and Aykroyd were great.
I'd put that and Samurai both up there at the same.
I did like him in Animal House, but I don't feel like he was in Animal House enough. There was so much going on in that movie.
That was a typical frat 70s movie,
Yeah.
80s movie. Now, when it comes to your frat style comedies, there's two that I always talk about that are better than Animal House. Number 2 on my list will be Porky's.
Porky's and Van Wilder.
Not at all.
I went to see that at the movies when it came out.
Porky's?
Yep.
Please tell me you took your mom or something.
No.
Because that's not a go see
No,
with your
actually,
parents
now
movie.
that I think about it, I think I went and seen that with my dad.
Him of all people, I can't imagine him laughing in that movie.
I didn't care if you laughed. I was looking at the titties.
There was titties, and then there was meat coming through a hole.
This is true.
No, but my number one college frat movie. Anyone gonna try and get? It's from the 80s.
From the 80s.
I'm gonna give you guys hints here.
Not Revenge of the Nerds?
There you go.
That
Adams
was
College.
That was the other one that I was thinking. It was I had Van Wilder, Porky's, and Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge of the Nerds is one of my favorite movies of all time. Even Shelby liked it, and Shelby doesn't like any of my movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, Adams. You guys are all the same. All you think about is boobs. And you know the dad from that movie. You know the dad from that movie. I last time I watched it like 2 months ago with Shelby, and I'm seeing this. I'm like, and I do this all the time. When I'm watching a movie I've seen before, I'll Wikipedia it. I'll start reading facts about it. I'll look at actors in it. I'm like, and I always go, I know him from somewhere. I know him. The dad from Revenge of the Nerds is the scientist that got killed by Sonny the Robot in iRobot.
Whoa.
It took me a minute to come up with it, but it hit me. And I'm like, that's where I know him from.
And sometimes I'll do that. I know him. And instead of looking it up, sometimes I'll just pause the movie. And Becca will turn to me. If you pause the movie, we're never going to get through this movie. It's like, yeah, but I have to, I'm thinking about it real quick. And I can't watch what's going on and try to think at the same time. Because I just can't.
And if you remember naturally without looking it up, it repairs the synapses in your head that are broken that makes you remember that, believe it or not. It strengthens your memory. Speaking of movies.
Yeah.
Have you seen Until Dawn yet?
No.
Okay.
But have you?
Yes. I saw it opening day.
Okay. Leave that because Andy went and seen it and he wants to talk about it.
Okay. It is excellent. So you have to see it by next week.
Okay. I went and seen Thunderbolts.
I haven't seen it yet. So
okay. I'll just I'll give you 30, maybe a minute review. In my opinion, it is one of the best Marvel films they've done since Endgame.
I've heard that.
It is Suicide Squad for Marvel. I wish Ghost had a more prominent role in it. If there was, I didn't notice it. I didn't see any wokeness in it, and Disney and Marvel have been very big on that train lately. I didn't see that. They talked a lot about mental health, or alluded to a lot of mental health towards the third act. Becca went and seen it with me, and she didn't fall asleep in it. And she says, well, it was a good film if I didn't fall asleep in it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I could go more in pros and cons, but I said I'd keep it quick since you guys didn't see it, and that's a spoiler-free review.
I've heard really good things.
I was thoroughly impressed by it.
I also heard that if you don't know your lore, you will be a little confused.
Yes.
Okay.
I did explain one of the characters to her, but the main core of the Thunderbolts, she knew. The Red Guardian,
Bucky,
Ghost,
Red Guardian, yeah.
Bucky. She's watched Marvel movies, so she knew. But the antagonist, she was unsure of who that was.
Right on. So if anyone doesn't have anything else, we have our food here.
Awesome.
So we can take our break, have a smoke, and get to Buford versus Whopper.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be right back.
You love food, right? If you like food, big opinions, and crazy dudes with even bigger appetites, you're invited to be part of the family on Monday Night Meat and Potatoes. Join James, Fridge, and Tommy as they blind taste test the best and worst colas, barbecue sauce, peanut butters, everything, right down to those weird pickle-flavored snacks you see at the store, but you never buy because, we rank them, we review them, and we have a blast. And it's not just food. We talk movies, sports, personal stories, and whatever other madness is going on in the world. One thing's for sure, it's loud, fun, and funny. Come hang with us on Monday Night Meat and Potatoes. Find the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Podbean.
All right. We're back from our break. We had food delivery. I want to touch base on it real quick. I know my dad doesn't. The convenience of DoorDash and Uber Eats has ruined me. I tend to be lazy. And when we don't want to cook, we just DoorDash or Uber Eats shit. But some things are fine. Like, for instance, buy one, get one free Big Bufords. Delivered 2 Big Buford meals was $15 with tip. That's barely more than a Big Buford. You go to the big get one at the store. I think it's $10 or $11.
Yeah,
that's a really good deal. Earlier, the kids wanted Taco Bell for Cinco de Mayo. I was gonna order it on the app. DoorDash wants like $4 for a crunchy taco, not a Supreme. And I'm like, and so I just ordered it and picked it up at the Taco Bell. It's like $2, double the fucking price.
yeah.
So you got to be weary of that when you're ordering. Anyway.
I just assumed that all Uber Eats and all DoorDash was expensive, so I never did it. But you brought up, like earlier, you were saying buy one, get one. I was like, you know what? Maybe when we decide we're going to go out, double check the app before I do it.
Yeah, definitely. Be wary of it. But there's restaurants out there, like there's a Thai place locally, Bangkok Chicken. Buy one, get one free Bangkok Chicken meals for $15. You get 2 of them. Even with tip and delivery, it's cheaper. Anyway, we got Big Burger King Whopper meal versus Checkers / Rally's Big Buford combo. Whopper beat the Big Mac a couple weeks ago, so we're going to try these now. We got the fries, we got the sandwich, we got the drinks. Drinks aren't going to count. I'm going to go with the Burger King fries first. They were not as good as McDonald's fries, but the sandwich is the star here, so I'm going to start with the fries. Unfortunately, they've been sitting for a minute, so they're a little cold. I'm not a huge fan of Burger King fries.
I am not either.
These ones are also overly salted, in my opinion.
I didn't like the fries last time, and I stand by that. I don't like them.
Scale of 1 to 5, put them at a 4.
We always do a scale out of 10.
Okay, I'll give it a 6.
Burger King French fries are like a 4 out of 10 for me. Tommy, how much mess are you going to make on yourself? You got 4 spots of mayo on you and a piece of lettuce on your crotch.
We'll add that to the review. Which one's messier?
Yeah.
Again, the Whopper's a good sandwich.
This is really good.
I love a Whopper.
Now, if you talk to Shelby, she prefers a Whopper Jr. for some reason. She thinks the proportions are better. I don't see it.
Well, I will say Burger King has 2 hamburgers that I do like. Whopper being one of them, but it depends on the store that you get them from, because some of them are bad.
And the rodeo cheeseburger?
No,
Ew.
just the plain cheeseburger.
Gotcha.
The rodeo one, I'm not a big fan of.
I also tried their spicy fish the other day. I told you, on your recommendation, I thought it was terrible. Burger King does not do fish right.
Those fries, I'd give it 3. You know what? If they were hot, I'll give them a 4. Whopper. That was pretty good.
I'm going with a 7.5.
The fries?
No, the Whopper.
Oh, Whopper.
The Whopper, I was between a 6.5 and a 7. You said 7.5.
For a cheap,
I'll say 7.
for
I'll
a
go
cheap
7.
fast food hamburger,
Yeah.
a good fresh Whopper, I'll give it a 7 all day long.
Yeah, I'll say 7. I'm really hope Big Buford lives up to.
Is it built up in your mind?
Yeah, because I love Checkers, Rallies, whatever you want to call it.
So, if you've never had one, which a lot of people haven't, a Buford is a double patty burger, first of all. Otherwise, it does have similar toppings as a Whopper. It's red onion versus white onion. Big Buford has red onion, tomato, lettuce, cheese. So the Whopper does not come with cheese typically. You have to add it. Mayo, ketchup. The Buford has mustard on it, though. So there is a couple extra ingredients on the Buford.
Pickles.
It's a double-sized sandwich. You get more for the same. Immediately, more shit falls on Tommy's fucking stomach.
Their pickles are different. They got a lot of vinegar on their pickles.
Now, if you went and isolated the meat on the Whopper, it's a better patty. But the overall combination flavor combo profile, I think I got to go with the Buford barely edging it out. 7-7. I'm giving a slight edge to the Big Buford.
I would definitely eat either one of them.
No shit.
I mean, I don't refuse a lot of food.
We didn't all become fat not eating.
I might like the bun better on the Buford. Mm-hmm. I think it's a better bun.
It's like a brioche bun versus a sesame seed.
Well, that was closer than I expected.
Where are you falling, Tommy? He goes, I need another bite.
If these were both fresh, the Buford might actually beat it out. Mm-hmm. And I love a Whopper.
I think the Buford's slightly better.
Did you try the pickle by itself?
I taste all of the flavors more on the Buford. I got taste the pickle, the red onion. Man, I hate to dock points on Burger King for saying, because the hamburger on the Whopper is the star of the show. I feel like the Whopper is the hamburger with a little bit of the fixins on it, condiments, and I taste some burger on the Buford, and all the condiments meld the Buford together, in my opinion.
I think definitely the flame broiled burger does stand out more between the two burgers. But
the burger is way better, like the hamburger is way better on the Whopper.
If you Frankenstein them, you'd have a perfect burger.
Fast food burger. If you took the Whopper patty and slapped it on the Buford, oh man.
Yeah.
How about just making it a triple and putting the Whopper?
You got to talk into the microphone.
How about you just put the burger
slap it right in the middle
from the Whopper on the Buford with the other ones?
So yeah, 7.7 for the Buford. The Rally's fries, Checkers fries, I'm going to give a 7. Those are amongst my favorite fast food fries.
I got to try that again.
I am going to give it a full. I'm going.
You're about to say a number and you're nervous.
Yeah, because I said 7 for Whopper. I'm going to go 8 with Buford. I'm going to give it a full point because I was hoping that's a 9.2. No, I'm not going to go that high. I'll give it an 8.
I'm curious what Becca thinks. So when you get home, have her taste your shirt and let.
I know, good Lord. I will say, even though when I grabbed the burger, it did fall on my shirt. The Buford was not as messy, even though it looked messier.
I'm going to give the Whopper a 7. I think after having a couple more bites of the Buford, I might actually give this a 7.5. For the fries, I'm not a fan of Burger King's fries, so I know I ranked it a 6, but I had it backwards. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
And I'm not a big fan of coated fries, but I'll say that Rally's beats them out, and I'll give them a 5.
Now, I discussed this in a previous episode that Checker Rally fries are one of my favorites. I don't know of any fast food fries that beat it out, so I'll just say 9. I'm sure there's probably one out there, and I've got roasted for giving donuts a 10, so I won't give them a 10 because I'm sure there might be one better out there, so I'll say 9 on the fries.
I think Arby's curly fries beat them.
That's a good one.
See, and I think a fresh White Castle fry is one of my favorites.
They're not
The
bad.
crinkle cut?
Crinkle cut.
Crinkle cut.
Del Taco also has a good crinkle cut French fry. Okay, so we're all in agreement. The Buford wins very slightly,
Yeah.
but it beats the Whoppers. So
I thought it was going to be a landslide. So
that brings up the next question: what's going up against the Buford next?
well,
Is it going to be like a Dave's from Wendy's?
we could do a Dave's or we could do a Del Taco.
I mean, Del Taco I want to get in the mix eventually, but they're not known for burgers, so they have a solid burger, but I don't see them winning this competition.
Okay, now I have a question. Do you consider like a Five Guys?
That's the one I was thinking.
I mean, that definitely can get in the running because that's fast food technically.
Yeah.
It is.
You know, maybe we'll have to save up a few weeks to be able to afford that one.
Yeah, because it's going to be $15 for one.
I'm not a believe it or not, I'm not a huge fan of their French fries. I know everyone raves about them. I'm not
No.
a huge fan.
I think people rave about the amount more than the
Yeah.
fry itself.
I think Wendy's would be a solid next option. And you know what? I don't think we can really put Del Taco's burger against these because this is supposed to be the flagship item.
yeah.
The number one is what we went with. You know, it's the number one combo. So the Buford, the Whopper, the Big Mac, the Dave's single or double from Wendy's.
I have another place that I'd like to throw out, and I know there's only one remaining, at least in the area. Steak and Shake.
I don't even know where one is anymore.
Great Lakes Crossing. It's in the parking lot of Great Lakes Crossing.
It's still open?
It is still open. It's the only remaining one I know.
The only problem with that is it's going to travel far.
Exactly. I would have to pick it up on my way to see you guys, and then it's going to sit for 3 hours.
Yeah.
How about we throw Tellway?
Well,
I
want to do a slider episode.
Yeah, we want to do a whole episode of all the slider houses around here.
Okay.
So we're going to do White Castle, Tellway, Braze, Hunter House, Greens, you know.
Yeah.
So we're definitely already going to do that episode. I think Wendy's is a logical choice.
Yeah.
And that is going to be closer than any of them for me because I love a Dave's single or double or whatever we choose to do.
Also, I just seen in the news this week that Wendy's is now selling their meat frozen.
Yes, they are.
Supposedly going to be at Kroger.
I think it's in a 6-pack.
They're selling their meat frozen and their whole
Steak is never
is
frozen
fresh,
meat.
right?
Yeah, never frozen beef. That's interesting as hell.
Yes.
Yeah, I think if I remember when I seen the picture of it, it's on like a meat tray.
It's on a meat tray, and it's a white box.
6
And
patties.
it's, 3.
Yep.
Yep.
All single.
Yep.
Yep.
So I don't dislike a frozen beef patty.
Mm-hmm.
I'll buy a Bubba Burger or, you know, Costco sells, 24 burgers frozen. By the way, you don't have to thaw those. You cook them from frozen.
Mm-hmm. There's
wonder how
one
that'd
frozen
be.
burger that I do enjoy. It's, I think it's by Meat District. It's Shaq's Burgers. Shaquille O'Neal. Because, to try to get my protein in with the gastric, we were looking for, I think they're like half-pound patties or quarter-pound patties. They were like 44 grams of protein per patty. And they were pretty good. Threw them on the smoker, let them smoke for a little bit, get a little bit of color to them, and then turn up the smoker to, grill and finish them off.
I think I know what your answer is going to be here, but I think we're going to have a difference of opinion from Tommy.
Okay.
Do you prefer your hamburger smoked or put on the barbecue?
Who?
Tommy.
Oh, it would always have been barbecue until I learned how to smoke them.
I think a smoked burger is a waste of a smoker.
I would rather have mine on the right on the barbecue. I don't want them smoked.
I'd rather
They're not bad.
You're talking a quarter point difference or quarter point difference. I'm going with a cast iron or a Blackstone over any of them. I prefer my flat tops. Even steak.
Those are frozen burgers.
Even steak. Damn.
Yeah.
Even steak, I prefer in a cast iron than a barbecue. Any day of the week. I prefer a nice, even sear on the entire steak.
Would you rather get that sear and finish it off in the oven?
So you're talking about a reverse sear, where you cook it in the oven and then sear it at the end at high heat?
No, you can.
I mean, you can do it both
can do either
ways,
way.
but yeah, typically if you want the perfectly cooked one,
Put the crust on it and then throw it in the oven to finish it up.
it's the easiest way to make sure it's cooked to perfect temperature, yeah.
Medium rare.
Or sous vide, which I still, that's one of the only, I have so much kitchen gadgets that I don't even have room for them. The one kitchen gadget I
feel
don't
you.
have is sous vide, and I want a sous vide. But yeah, I don't know. Smoked burgers, I don't see the point of it.
45 grams of protein. Wait, no. 38 grams of protein
Are you ready?
for one patty
Here we
and
go.
a half pound.
Soft drinks, lemonade, water, cold tea. It's up to you. It's up to me. Cold drinks come in 4 cups. Gotta know the size before you fill it up. Biggie, medium, small, kids meal.
90-10 burger for a hamburger or 80-20?
Usually 80-20.
80-20.
80-20.
By the way, that was just a 1980s Wendy's training video.
Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
In Wendy's.
That's what gets you to laugh.
Hey, remember when you were on in the Beatles?
Wendy's, though.
When they had the salad bars?
Yes. That's an old school thing. A lot of kids, they're like, Wendy's had what?
Yeah, we had a salad bar.
Believe it or not, in the South, they still have them.
Wow.
And they also had the baked potato bar.
Oh, yeah.
The potato bar, the last one I remember was on Van Dyke.
Yes, the one at 13.
No, is that...
The one at 13 in Van Dyke, I remember going in there and they had it.
Yeah, they had a really small one.
Yeah, it was right by the counter, right by the fountain
Yes,
drinks, and it was just,
where-
it was only like 4 stations.
Yeah, very small.
Yep.
But the good potato bar that had the salad and
Yeah.
everything with it, oh my God.
What was it called? The Super Bar? I think it was called Super Bar.
Super bar, super potato bar, or something like that.
Yeah.
I am going to throw one more shout out to Checkers Rallies here. Not many fast food places have cherry
Pib.
Coke on tap.
And they don't have Pib.
Which I prefer Pib over Dr. Pepper.
Me too.
I agree.
I don't particularly care for Dr. Pepper. It's not terrible, but I'm never going to go, ooh, you have Dr. Pepper, give me the Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
I love Dr. Pepper, but I cannot drink it if you put it over ice.
Really?
I like it cold. Get it from the fridge. Mm-hmm. But once you put it over ice, to me it just
You lose
changes.
23 flavors.
It's just not good.
We had I got a 12-pack of cherry Dr. Pepper a few months ago, and Shelby did not like it. She's like, I think cherry's already one of the 23 flavors, so now it's just gimmick.
Cherry,
and I'm
cherry.
like, no, I love cherry-flavored sodas.
Me too.
You know, I have to give another shout out to Checkers because that hamburger, if you didn't notice, it was put together neat. It
Yeah.
wasn't just slopped over.
Well, that's what I said. It looked messy, and I said, take away when I brought it to my chest, I got a little on my shirt. Even though it looked messy, it was not as messy as the Whopper.
First off, you didn't get a little bit on your shirt. You got a lot on your shirt. Multiple times.
I will tell you this, as a big guy.
It's a long way from my stomach to my mouth.
Well, not only that, but like when skinny people can eat, if they're sitting upright and eating and something falls, it falls in between their legs or on their legs. As a fat guy, it falls on our bellies, and then you have to wear it the entire day.
That's like a woman with big breasts.
Yeah.
You know, when if you take them out to eat, you have to take 2 shirts.
If you take Denise out to eat, the other thing, other than the fact that you're going to get bad service and fucked up food, is she is guaranteed to spill some food on herself. That
is so true.
It's so funny to watch because Denise doesn't notice it at the time, and my dad goes, "Knew it was coming."
That's true.
But shit, what were we just? So not only the skinny people, they'll miss their stomachs and don't typically have to wear it. However, big guys, we have an advantage. When I go to the movies, and I'm in my recliner in the movies, and I have like an icy.
You have a table.
I set the icy on my stomach and I have free hands while I can slurp my icy. And I know I'm not the only one that fucking does that.
And also skinny people, they can lean towards the table and put their head over the table to like take a drink or like a sip of soup or whatever. If I lean towards the table, my stomach pushes the table on the person I'm sitting across to.
Or even worse is you go to a restaurant that only has booths. And you gotta go, shit.
I hate booths.
I hate booths too. You
man.
get into those booths that are made for skinny bitches, and all of a sudden my stomach's pressing against it, and that's really uncomfortable.
When I was at my biggest, when I would go in and I'd ask, do your booths move, or like is your table affixed? Like, can I move because I can't eat here? Like,
yeah, it's incredibly uncomfortable. All right, so there you have it, folks. Big Buford moves on into our hamburger #1 combo bracket of fast food. Join us next week when we put it up against Dave's single. Are we going to do Whoa. Are we going to put it up against Dave's single or the double? Because, I mean...
Technically, we do the double, but by stated rules, it's got to be the #1.
Well, so here's the thing. Dave's is #1 for single, triple, double. You pick how many patties. So whereas like the Whopper, the double Whopper is a different number combo. Wendy's we can get away with saying the double and making it more fair because it is still a #1 combo.
I think if you really want to have a fair comparison, put 2 patties against 2 patties.
Yeah, it's as fair as you can get without breaking the rules.
I'll allow it. I would say because if I'm going to Wendy's, I'm getting a Dave's double.
Before I was on my weight loss journey, I would do a double.
Yeah.
I do singles now.
Now I'm going to look and see which one sells more, the single or the double. I'll look it up.
So join us for that. Hopefully we'll do that next week. We might wait for Fridge or my dad maybe, so it might be a couple weeks because Andy's going to be here next week.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been here for most of the competition. So
yeah, we'll wait till one of them are back.
Yeah. So anyway, that brings us to our conclusion of this week's Monday Night Meat and Potatoes. Thanks for joining. I'm James.
I'm Tommy.
I'm Jeff.
Bye.
This has been Monday Night Meat and Potatoes. We have big opinions and even bigger appetites. Everyone loves food, but not like us. And everyone has an opinion, but not like us. Look, it's 3 foodies sitting around talking food, movies, sports, personal stories, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. And we have fun. We hope you did too. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, hit us up on Facebook and Instagram at Monday Night Meat and Potatoes, on X and TikTok at Monday Night MP. See you next time on Monday Night Meat and Potatoes.